Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Tom McKenzie with Stephen Carroll in Brussels, and we're joined by Bloomberg reporter Chloe Melly right now. Chloe, let's start with some deal making. Akzo Nobel, the paint company, new purchase on the horizon. How is the market reacting?
Oh, well, not too well. So Akzo Nobel has agreed to acquire its smaller rival Axalta in a deal that values Axalta at about 7.9 billion euros. So this is the culmination of several attempts at a merger. The last effort actually failed back in 2017. Analysts are saying that the consolidation does make sense at this particular point in time, but the price is what some investors are less enthusiastic about, and that is what led the shares down this morning after news of the deal. So some analysts said that some shareholders won't be really happy about the prospect of a 52% premium for Axalta, and also both companies have suspended a buyback, so that also explains some of that share movement. The deal is happening in the context of Akzo Nobel and then that wider kind of paint-making, coating sector being a little bit of trouble at the moment. Akzo really, for example, cut its outlook recently because customers are spending less with tariffs and a slowing economy. Some of those paints, for example, are used in auto manufacturing, and we know, of course, how that industry has fared recently. So that makes cost synergies really important, and that explains the rationale for that deal. But the price is really the sticking point here.
Okay, so that's the latest M&A story that we're watching this morning. To Germany now, and Rheinmetall announcing an ambitious sales target.
Yeah, so they expect sales of about 50 billion euros in 2030. So that is what they announced at the Capital Markets Day. So this is a really crucial thing for investors that we're keen to know kind of what the long-term prospects look like. You know, Rheinmetall is already up 190% year to date, so it really needs to deliver those really ambitious targets to convince investors that the valuation is justified. If we look at another defense company like Hensoldt, for example, it fell quite sharply last week because it targeted a growth rate for next year that actually came in below expectations. So the next leg of that rally in the defense sector is really hinging on all of those military spending commitments from governments actually feeding into earnings, feeding into sales and profit for those companies. And it seems that the target that Rheinmetall announced was reassuring in that sense for those investors.
Also on the move today, ICG. What is driving interest in that stock?
So first of all, positive results. They had profit coming in ahead of expectations, but mostly they announced a partnership with Amundi, which is Europe's largest asset manager. So Amundi is planning to take a 10% stake in ICG, and there will also be a 10-year commercial agreement between the two, where Amundi will be the exclusive global distributor for some of ICG's products. And the idea for Amundi there is to expand its footprint into private markets, and ICG is a specialist. They're a private equity specialist, a credit specialist, and for ICG that obviously helps with access to the wealth channel, they said, and it's also obviously quite a high profile partnership with a big name, and all of that contributed to quite a positive share price move this morning for ICG.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.